Hello everyone, I'm Rose and I'm your sub-host for this Friday. This week we are talking about Lammas, or how other people call it Lunasa. Before I am going to talk about this Sabbath, I want to mention that one evening before this Sabbath there will be a blue moon, and this will happen on the 31st of this month. A blue moon means that it will be the second full moon in 1 month, and uh, in the past they call it a fake moon because and a tricky moon because people used to calculate their months on a full moon, but when there was two moons people got confused. So a blue moon is very rare and special, and if you have the opportunity to celebrate it or do a little ritual or so, I would really recommend it. Anyway, Lammas. We celebrate Lammas on August the 1st, and the name Lunasa comes from the Celtic god Lu. I'm not sure if I pronounce that good, but I think I do. Anyway, Lu is, as I said before, the Celtic god, and I'm not sure correctly how the story goes, but he wanted to go to a job, and the person was like, "Can you do this? Can you do that?" And blah blah blah. And he was like, yes, I've studied and learned everything. I can do this and this and this. And basically, he could do everything that the person needed. And he was like, you don't need those people, you need me, because I can do everything that each one of those person can. And for me, that part is important, but I will come back on that later in this video. Um, Lammas is also, like I said, the first harvest, and it's all about um, harvesting grains and the produce. But also, the god will lose his strength, and as the sun, how do you say, like the days are becoming shorter, the nights will be longer because we are in the waning part of the year. And I also think that it's really important to mention the goddess because at this point she is pregnant and the little new god is growing inside her belly. And not a lot of Wiccans and or pagans or witches um, really mention her in this Sabbath, and because it's all about God and about Lu and the sun and the harvest. But I think that the goddess is important too because at this point she is carrying a new god. And also for your altar, I will give some things that you can place on it for the goddess too, because I think you should have them equally on your altar. Um, Also, when you have dinner or when you're eating lunch or breakfast, it's important for me at this point to really thank the god and the goddess because you're eating bread, you're eating grains, and they gave the energy like the sun, the moon, and the earth to let it grow for us so we can eat it, so we can grow ourselves. So I think that's important that you think about that because if we didn't have those, we couldn't grow ourselves and we will die. Um, so about the Celtic god Lu, for me he is important because it shows that you can learn everything if you really want to learn everything. And at this point of my life, I am studying my year and a day from this book. I brought it. It's Wicca, a year and a day from Timothy Roderick. And so I am learning too, and I'm learning new things every day, and it's a really good book. And also, I want to learn all the different things from the craft. And you have a lot of things like herbs, crystals, pendulum, tarot, oracle, all those things, and they all interest me. So one day I will have to be like, what am I going to study first? But at this harvest, I am thinking about starting to learn about my pendulum because a month ago, I think, or 2 months ago, I bought my pendulum and I have it here. It's an amethyst with a crystal, and you have the chakras here, So it's really lovely, and I'm going to start learning about that, how you use it and how you can connect it with you. And also this Sabbath, as I said before a million times, I think it's about harvesting, but not only harvesting grains or produce and all those things, but also harvesting your achievements that you got this year. And I think my screen is flickering again. It's a really bad camera. I'm sorry. Anyway, it's about harvesting everything that you have planted in the waxing part of the year. And for me, again, this Sabbath is a really important one because I've been really working hard to get a job. I've been having like thousands of job interviews already, and I've been looking around for an apartment. And normally, in the beginning of next week, I will know if I'll have the job, if I can have my apartment. So that's all about harvesting things for me, for my life. And I really hope that August can be a very good month for me so that I can live on my own, start my own future. And yeah, anyway, enough about me. For your altar, you can place a lot of things. For example, wheat, oats, grains, bread, all those produces that you see on the fields right now, and the farmers are harvesting it. And you can also place fruit, but I'm not going to do that because for me, it's all about apples and stuff in Maven, so the next Sabbath. You can also make corn dollies, but again, I'm going to do that next Sabbath because I've looked in my book and they make it at the fall equinox. So yeah, I have to keep it on the book. Anyway, you can place brown candles to represent bread, grains, produce, a yellow candle for the sun, because even though he is becoming not strength enough anymore, I don't know how to say it in English, I'm sorry, you still can honor him because he is offering himself so that we can live. And then a red candle for the goddess, for the mother goddess, because she is growing the god in her belly and she deserves an honor too, of course. And you can place sage and meadowsweet. Those are herbs on your altar, or you can put it in some incense and burn it on charcoal. And I've been checking out my book already, and one of those exercises that I'm going to do is to make lammas oil and incense. And I will post the ingredients below and how you make it so that you guys can do it too. I think that's everything I have to say about the Sabbath, but I really hope that you guys have stuff too that you can harvest, either if it is grains or goals or achievements that you did. I wish you all a very good harvest and a blessed Lammas and a very good day. Blessed be.